I'm going to make some chicken legs teriyaki style. But you know what? We forgot to marinate the chicken. So you know what we're going to do? Most everything that goes into the marinade will be put into the skillet to cook the chicken. And when we get done, it's going to taste great, look good, and we're taking shortcuts here. So there's the chicken legs. Just separate the thigh from the leg. Take the skin off. Usually you would season this and dip it into cornstarch or rice flour and then saute it. We're skipping that also. This is going to be a quick, easy, non-professional way of putting together a teriyaki style chicken leg dinner quickly. The only thing that's going to take a long time is the length of time it takes you to cut up all the vegetables. The cooking time, it won't take that long. So let's get started. I'm going to put the liquid part of the marinade in the bowl. The brown sugar, because this has to have a nice flavor. What's going in here? The garlic and the ginger, you can't put in there because there's not enough time for it to work. So we're just going to put the tamari and the white wine and the brown sugar. And that would be part of the marinade. And a few drops of sesame oil. That's about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. Now that's roasted sesame oil. Don't ever buy sesame oil that looks clear. So if this tastes good, one more tablespoon of sugar. But that's how it is when you make these marinades. Teriyaki sauce, when it's made, has a lot of sugar in it. That's why the sauces in Oriental cooking are fattening. That's why you see most Chinese, Japanese cooks, I see them when they eat. They don't have that heavy sauce like Americans do. They don't mix the rice in to the sauce like Americans do. Now that has a good flavor. So now the next step will be get the chicken going and everything else. Forgot one item. It's not a big deal. The orange. So just squeeze the orange. And the other half also. I preheated the skillet a little bit, fairly high, medium flame. I'll put some peanut oil in there. And I always say to season everything before. Well, I'm not seasoning the chicken for the simple reason this marinade is so strong that when it soaks in, and if I put seasoning on the chicken, it might be a little bit too much. So in with the chicken, I'm also going to put some of the garlic and some of the ginger. That's what's missing in the marinade. Like I said, there's not enough time to make them for the ginger and the garlic to work in the marinade. So use a non-stick type pan. This is Teflon. And that's right, I didn't dip it in cornstarch first. I'll get somebody saying, what kind of crap is that? Remember, this is a quick quick, simple way to get a good result. And there's the ginger and the garlic. And the rest of the ginger and the garlic will be sauteed with the vegetables. I'll saute those, as a matter of fact, right now in the back there, leaving the peppers out until the very, very end. And the same thing, you're going to put some peanut oil in there. So you're really getting to do both of the items. You see in the back there, little peanut oil. Now those vegetables in the rear, I'm going to season, but they're really not going to be cooked in with this marinade. So you sprinkle a little salt and pepper on those vegetables. And as soon as we get a little color on the chicken, then we're going to add the marinade and a little water or chicken stock. So this will take a few minutes. Cook it like this, moderate flame. When you get a little color on one side, turn it over and wait for color on the other side. Then we'll add the rest. So let's check for color. We have some color there. There we go, a little color, a little more color. You don't really have to use, I shouldn't say that, flour or cornstarch. This changes the texture of the chicken or whatever you're sauteing. And if the garlic and ginger roast up a little bit in here, it's okay. Now as the vegetables are sauteing in the back there, what I'm going to do is, once they're very al dente, I'll just shut that off and wait. They're going to be mixed in with the chicken much later, but they have to be just about cooked. Because we know that in Chinese or Japanese cooking, the vegetables are always al dente. Now if we have a little color on the chicken, which we do, so let's add and lower the flame now. Add the marinade. Get that boiling fast. And 1 cup of either chicken stock or water. I'm using water. That'll take care of that. And the vegetables, they're almost done. They're just cooking in the back there. Now this, we're going to cover, raise the flame, just let it come to a boil, raise it, and the chicken will cook in there. After the chicken is cooked, remove the chicken, and if there's too much liquid, all we do is reduce it a little bit. Then we'll thicken it up with just a little bit of cornstarch. Add the vegetables and chicken back together. And see what nice kind of dish we have. So that's good. Now lower the flame. And I'll give this, how much time? Let's say 20 minutes. And then we'll be back. Oh, what's nice also I found in the refrigerator, some nice fresh domestic mushrooms. Or your favorite mushroom, throw that right into the vegetables. Even though we used orange, I'm not calling this orange chicken because a lot of times when people make teriyaki sauce, not everybody, but some people put orange juice into it also. Well, don't forget, after about 10 minutes, just take the chicken and turn it. And we'll taste the liquid. If the liquid is perfect in flavor when we're done, we won't reduce it, because then it will be too strong. Just about done. As you see, the vegetables nice and al dente, just waiting. You know, I could have put bok choy in here. I could have seasoned with other ingredients into the chicken. Could have used 5 spice powder. Could have done many things. But I think this is easy. Usually you have carrots, onions, celery sitting around the house, and sometimes mushrooms. But mushrooms aren't necessary. I just had them, so I put them. And this, we got about another 2 minutes, and it's looking pretty good. And I did take a sneak taste. That's pleasantly light flavored. Well, let's see how we're doing after 20 minutes. I'm going to give it 10 more minutes. That'll be a half hour. And that will be enough. Well, it's been a half hour. Done. Now we have to transform this chicken into something presentable. So just put it here on top of the vegetables for now. What started off as a simple recipe wound up to have a lot of ingredients. So I'm going to mix a teaspoon of cornstarch with a teaspoon of water as a little paste. I'm going to add this to this. Just drizzle it in slowly. Always do a little at a time. For an item like this, it needs to be a little bit more heavy. So we'll take another take 1 teaspoon. Mix it well. This thickens immediately, so you know it's not like roux where it takes a few minutes to really get thick. Okay, that has enough body to it to cling. Now we're going to switch. We'll take the skillet with the vegetables and the chicken and put it there. And even though it looks like too much sauce, when we lift it out of the skillet, we're not going to use that much sauce. But what we do want is everything has a nice glaze on it. So while this is getting hot, looking a little better already, right? Sure, why not? And we saved a step. Some of those out there may not like it, but I wouldn't do it like this all the time. This is only done this way because it took a half hour to make this chicken dish, which looks more complicated. If I have everything cut up the day before, then it's going to take you about a half hour. And we're going to finish it up with the peppers, which have to be al dente, not in all cooking, but in this. So this has to look good, because as far as taste, this has a nice, pleasant, not too strong of a flavor. The soy sauce that's in the tamari is light. So the only thing that's bad for you in here is 3 tablespoons of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch plus another teaspoon. But of course in the tamari sauce, I'm sure there's salt and sugar. So let's get a plate, and we're going to top this off with along with this type of soft food, I also like crunchy. So I found some toasted almonds in the freezer. So when this is done, which it is now, I'm going to put it on a plate and show you what the finished presentation might look like. I would assume that everybody's going to eat, well, maybe not this much, but that looks nice. The only thing is, it won't come out even. So there we have that, some toasted almonds, and finish it off with some scallions. Looks good, and I guarantee it tastes good. Hope you enjoy.